We are here at AT&T Park, San Francisco, California, for our final couple of BCS Playoff first-round games. It's hard to imagine we're already at the end. We're down to our last 3 games over the ESPN family of networks. We got Stanford, Notre Dame here, the Heisman Trophy winner over on ESPN2, and the final NIT game over on ESPNU. And here's two teams. Notre Dame, they're making their very first ever appearance in the BCS Playoff. And for Stanford, their second ever appearance. Their last appearance ever was last year. They were upset in the first round as a number 4 seed by the MAC champions, the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. Stanford's Andrew Luck made it a point that he was coming back to Stanford this season. He felt he owed it to his team to lead them further in the BCS playoffs. He didn't think he did his job last season. And we're getting ready down here. There you see Andrew Luck, and of course we are here at AT&T Park, San Francisco, California, for the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. And what a great event this is for these players, these student athletes. Not only getting to compete in this great bowl game, but of course a lot of the money and proceeds from ticket sales and all this from this bowl game are going directly to help fight hunger, which is what this bowl is all about. But not only that, it's also a big part of the Bowl Championship Series playoffs, and unprecedented. You see it there on your screen. For the second time this season, and for the first time ever in this rivalry, the Legends Trophy will be on the line for the second time in one season. That has never happened before between these two teams, where the Legends Trophy was defended twice in the same year. So the Irish have a chance to reclaim that trophy, and they can do so if they keep making plays like this. Winner of this game will get Michigan in the second round of the BCS playoffs. And you're going to want to stay tuned till after this game, because after whoever wins this game, we will know for a good amount of the time upward of what a lot of our second round bowl games will be, and we'll get you those right at the end of this one. But right now we're underway, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are starting things off, just rolling right down the field. It's already 2nd down and 3, and now it's going to be a 1st down once again. So the Fighting Irish, behind quarterback Tommy Reese, just driving down the field. The sophomore quarterback, they're driving right now on this Stanford defense, and that one's going to be incomplete. So finally they slow down just a little bit. Again, senior quarterback Andrew Luck, he made it a point after last season's disappointing early exit in the playoffs. He said, I owe it to you guys. I'm going to come back and make this right. We're going to do it here at Stanford. Well, they're going up against a team they already took down earlier this season. The second time that the Legends Trophy will be defended, unprecedented, here in the Bowl Championship Series playoffs. 3rd down and 12. They're going to go with the handoff to Wood, and Wood will get the 1st down. Kerry Wood able to race forward and pick up the 1st. Notre Dame is just rolling. Another draw play down the middle. ESPN family of networks here at 8 o'clock on the West Coast, or 8 o'clock Eastern time is when these games are, but on the West Coast, this game in San Francisco, just down the road a bit in Los Angeles, we got the first ever Christmas Bowl, and we got a quarterback sack onto Reese. Reese will go down. He will be brought down by Terrence Stevens. But we have the first ever Christmas Bowl between Rutgers and Tulsa. And then over in Tempe, we have Robert Griffin III, the Heisman winner, going up against the Conference USA champs, Southern Miss. I mean, you can flip through all 3 channels. We got some great action right now on the ESPN network. On 3rd down, the pass will be incomplete, out of bounds, and after a great opening drive, it stalls out at about the 40, and the Fighting Irish will have to attempt a 50-yard field goal that will be good. They get it through 56 yards for the Fighting Irish. for David Ruffer. And that's his second field goal made from 50-plus yards this year. And the Fighting Irish will take a 3-0 lead over Stanford. Those bowl patch. I guess they forgot the bowl committee here amongst how busy they are setting up for this game. They forgot to order the patches without the white backgrounds. Craziness. First pass for Andrew Luck will find its way into the waiting arms of Kobe Fleener. And for Stanford, they love to utilize the tight ends. 3 or 4 of their top leading receivers on the teams are tight ends. There's Stephon Taylor to pick up the first down. And they've had to do whatever they can to utilize all the players they can, especially with Chris Owuzu still out with those concussion-like symptoms. He was supposed to be playing here in the playoffs, but he was downgraded to doubtful before the playoffs began. And Andrew Luck floated that one looking for his number 17. Instead, it was Notre Dame's number 17, and it nearly came up with it. And that's Zeke Mota, the safety. That's a great name, Zeke. They give it to Taylor on the second down give, and he's going to barrel forward to get 6 yards on the run to take us to a 3rd down and 4. Brian Kelly, who been under some scrutiny for what he did to Cincinnati a couple of years ago, pretty much ditching them on their undefeated run. And that's going to be a punt on a 4th down after that Notre Dame stuff to come take this Notre Dame job. And, well, he's led them to the playoffs here in just his 2nd season. Notre Dame, they've never been to the BCS playoffs before. You got to give him credit in that aspect. I don't know if he felt bad or not, but, I mean, he led his Bearcats to an undefeated season at the number 3 seed and then left. They had to go at it alone, and they gave up 70 points to Navy without a head coach in that playoff game. On 1st and 10, pass going to be incomplete, but we've seen how well Cincinnati's doing now with the sophomore quarterback Munchie Legault. That was a thrilling double overtime game. If you haven't seen it, probably see it on ESPN Classic. It was that good. Reese will throw that one incomplete again, batted down by the Stanford defense, and that takes us to a 3rd and 10. So the Irish, they were moving the ball well on their opening drive. Now they've kind of stalled out. They've gone 2 incompletions here, and now on 3rd and 5, they're forced to go with 5 wide receivers, but it works for them. That's going to be in there for a Notre Dame 1st down, and if I got the number correctly, that was T.J. Jones with the reception from Gainesville, Georgia. And now it's 1st and 10. Look at this time. Oh my goodness, flushed out, and now hooks up with Jones again. Put a stopwatch on that. That was at least 6-7 seconds just sitting in the pocket. Another completed pass to TJ, and for the Irish, not only defeated by this Stanford team in real life, but also in our BCS Playoffs preview game, Stanford took them down. So Notre Dame definitely looking for that 1st win, and they are really rolling here. But that was a dangerous throw, and could have easily been intercepted. Johnson Belmos was looking for that. On 3rd and 5. Oh, is he going to run it? No. He waited to the last possible minute, thought about running it, and then here came the Cardinal, and they just broke down. It was Jarrett Lancaster, the linebacker, who came in with the sack. He's had quite a few sacks on the year. Now another field goal for Notre Dame. 50 yards again. And this time it'll hit the crossbar. No good. We possibly see a replay. No, unfortunately not. But it just hit off the crossbar. So a break for the Stanford Cardinal. Now they need to get their offense going. Andrew Luck will find his receiver. 1st down. And I don't know if it's just a matter for Stanford, if it's bend but don't break defense, or it's just Notre Dame good offense, but they're just collapsing at the end. It was Griff Whalen, by the way, the senior that brought it. That's another senior who was part of that Miami, Ohio game. Doesn't want to go down again. They were, I think it was 3 points the Red Hawks were able to beat the Cardinal by. This is a motivated Stanford team after last season. Play action. Down goes Luck. Puts the ball on the turf. I thought Taylor got it. No, he didn't. That's Notre Dame football. That's going to be a Fighting Irish touchdown. Oh, wow. Andrew Luck. He is limping right now off the field. I saw Taylor dive for it, but I guess he didn't get it. And then Connor Little picked it up and ran it in. And Notre Dame will take a 10-0 lead, and Stanford, for a team that's highly motivated, they're stuck where they don't want to be right now, and that's trailing. And they were doing a lot of that last season against Miami, Ohio. So they'll have another opportunity. Andrew Luck, the Heisman runner-up, trying to get this offense going right now. On 1st and 10, pitch it out to Taylor. Taylor's going to get tackled. Met back there and finally was brought down. He broke one tackle, couldn't break the other. And you see frustration starting to build here in San Francisco at AT&T Park. They got to leave the emotions at the door. And another stop. Down goes Taylor again. That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Stanford trailing 10-0 to the Fighting Irish. Coke Zero is a sponsor for that first quarter, or for the second quarter, maybe all of it. Andrew Luck is going to be pressured again, but he throws it. Incomplete. And the Irish will hold one more time. And now getting the ball back, they have a chance to really do some damage on this Stanford Cardinal team. Maybe it's the shadowy effect, as it is 8 on the East Coast, but really only about 4 on the West Coast, so that you see the shadow effect really starting to hit this field here as it's getting around the evening hour in San Francisco. And that was going to be knocked away. Notre Dame was looking for a touchdown, but you got to credit Michael Thomas, safety, senior safety, to bat that one away and save the score. And they're going to throw it again, and another batted ball. So the defense for the for the Cardinal trying to help out. Tommy Reese trying to get things going here. It's 3rd down. They're going to go 5 wide. Tommy Reese with the heave into double coverage. Incomplete. So 3 incompletions in a row. And Stanford will get the ball back, and Andrew Luck can breathe a small sigh of relief. Just a small one, not a big one. When Stanford gets 17 points and Notre Dame stays at 10, I think Andrew Luck can begin to breathe the bigger sigh of relief that we all expect when a team takes the lead. Ball will be at the 25-yard line. They fake it. Good job by picking up the block by the offensive line, and that's going to be a 1st down completion into Notre Dame territory. And it was caught by Griff Whalen. There's the tree. And it's kind of hovering around there. He did a really cool move last time where he jumped up on his invisible hand. It was just kind of floating. I want to see him do that again. Luck will pass it on first down and into the hands of Whalen again for 1 yard. Take us to a 2nd and 9. Ball at the 47. They're in the I. They got 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers set. Andrew Luck trying to get some guys to jump. They won't. Luck screen pass to Taylor, and Taylor was not even looking for the ball. Taylor is off today. Besides the unsuccessful runs, I mean, what is he doing right now? Kraft bowl executives are sitting there shaking their head too. I'm sure they don't know much about football, let alone putting on a bowl game, but they're doing it. And that's going to be completed to Whalen. Touchdown, Stanford Cardinal. They are right back in this game. Can't get any more picture perfect than that. Luck to Whalen. Fights off the pressure. And he hits the end zone. Touchdown, and Andrew Luck does a dance right on the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl logo. Now, this is a pretty cool bowl, though. Again, a lot of the money going to help to fight, to do what it says, Fight Hunger, to help the victims of, I don't say victims, but the less fortunate, probably better terms to say. So the Cardinal are right back in this one, and now Notre Dame has the daunting task of trying to increase the lead back. They still have the lead, but try to extend it a little bit more. And they're going to do like a double fake handoff, chunk it way down the field, wide open man into Cardinal territory. Tommy Reese with a beautiful spiral on that toss. So fresh set of downs as we move to the 34-yard line. Reese pressured over the middle, open receiver, 9-yard completion. How crisp has Notre Dame looked on offense so far? And that's going to be knocked away and complete. And when I say crisp, I mean moving down the field. They get to this spot and they tend to stall out. They've already done it twice. Doesn't happen a third time. Well, we'll see. We're about one play from finding out. Reese has all day looking for the end zone, and they're going to stall out once again. They move the ball so well down to this point, and then they stall. Brian Kelly says, no more stalling. We're going for it. Out of bounds, overthrew his receiver to where he had to grab it, and he couldn't get his feet in bounds. So once again, instead of going for 3, though, you go for it and you stall out. And now you really give Andrew Luck and Stanford the advantage. And Andrew Luck, look at him. He is like an assassin. He's going to make plays like that all day long into the waiting arms of Drew Terrell. He's a junior, and they don't go to him that often. He's good for about a catch or 2 a game, but ever since Chris Owuzu's gone out with concussion symptoms, they've had to use some other guys a lot more. But Andrew Luck, he loves going to those tight ends. They said the top leading receivers on the Stanford team are the tight ends. They are going to stay away from Taylor, it appears, as Whalen brings it in until, I don't know, I guess until Andrew Luck slows down, and he keeps doing well, so why not let him keep throwing? Another completed pass is Griff Whalen again. It's completion number 6 for him, and he's having a great day. And this is some of the mistakes I've seen in some of the earlier BCS playoff games. Teams start doing something good and they change it up. Stanford's not doing that. Andrew Luck keeps passing well. Don't take the ball out of his hands. David Shaw, smart, says we're going to keep doing what's successful. Why change it? Notre Dame will help them out with 5 extra yards, and they'll get it in the red zone. Now they give it to Taylor. See, that's a smart call, though. 1st and 5, why not give it to him? Look at the tree, I'm telling you. That's some skill. With no arms, just simple handstand balancing. I'm impressed with this thing. It may look creepy, but this thing is impressive on the sidelines. Keep your eye on the top of the screen. Give it to Taylor again. Touchdown. No, 1 yard shy. Stephon Taylor now starting to open things up. This has been brilliant offensive play calling. Now, with the short yardage situations, now you go to your running back and you start to get him in the game a little bit. Really nice play calling. And Stanford decided they'll call a timeout. And we have another flag. This time it'll go against, I don't know why, Hockley. He pointed in the direction of Notre Dame, but it's against Stanford. Because he pointed towards the end zone, and that's what Notre Dame is defending. I don't know. 1st and goal, give it to Taylor. And he's going to make up some of that yardage. I don't know why Stanford's burning through their timeouts, to be quite honest. They have 2 whole minutes to go unless they're hoping their defense can stand up tough and then get the ball back and score again. And that was unsuccessful on the run. So now you're stuck in a 3rd down. Ryan Hewitt with the 2-yard run. And they're going to run it again. And this, oh my gosh, did he fumble it? He fumbled it, Taylor. Stephon Taylor fumbled the football. Oh man, he was diving. And that just popped right out of there. He didn't get the ball across the line. That's unbelievable. Oh, they're getting torn into right now on the sideline by David Shaw. That was Lewis Nix III that forced that fumble. And now, oh, that might actually kind of work out to the advantage because they do get the safety. I don't know, play action fake in that situation might not be the smartest call in the world. But Stevens will come up with the sack and a safety, and now Stanford can actually add more points. So they're going to get into some wonderful field position. So Shaw's saying thank you, defense, right now. And no, that is going to be completed. I didn't think he had any feet in bounds. Brian Kelly's kind of like, all right, maybe we'll see a challenge. We are going to see the challenge. I didn't think he made it. You have a ref right. Well, he did. Whew, that 1 foot. They are going to reverse it. That was very close. On second look, I wasn't sure if that 2nd foot went out of bounds, but Hockley has an eagle eye, and he says it did. Andrew Luck, near side, and that's completed to the 35-yard line. Here comes Stanford, who looked like they were about to blow getting the lead back after the fumble, but then a safety will get them the ball back. I think maybe they had that planned all along. I don't know. Look out, Andrew Luck. Down he goes. Quarterback sack for Luck. 2nd and 16. He tried to avoid it the best he could, but they got him down. Over the middle, wide open. Touchdown, Stanford, and they will take the lead. What a drive that was for Andrew Luck and Stanford. That was Drew Terrell with the reception. And Stanford about to go up by 6 with the point after. This has been a pretty exciting game. I'd like to see any of the other games on the ESPN Family and Network try to compete with this one. Stanford has scored 16 unanswered points to reclaim the lead, and I said that Andrew Luck would have to get the 17, be breathing a little easier. Well, 16 might be good enough. Who knows? They should have a lot more if not for the fumble, but again, the almost baffling call by Brian Kelly. You're 1 yard on your 1 yard line. I don't know why you would step back, do a play action fake, and give the defenders all that time to blow in there and get the sack, which is exactly what happened. Running play will be relatively unsuccessful there, as it was Kerry Wood attempting to run the ball. 2nd and 12. Some motion and movement. And I think Kelly wants to just let this one die down and get into the half, knowing that we had this team on the ropes. We could possibly defeat them, but it's going to take some halftime adjustments to get it done. Reese will throw it short, incomplete, so that one will stop the clock. Now you need to be careful. I think, well, even if they run the ball, Stanford could possibly call a timeout and give Andrew Luck one last throw. They are going to run it. And Stanford will not use that time. I don't know why we frozen. There we go. I don't know why we were frozen at 1 second. Well, AT&T Park, as you can see, lots of cardinal and red, a little bit of gold and blue here in San Francisco, California. It's the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl, and the Stanford Cardinal have come back to score 16 unanswered and take the lead. We're going to get some halftime assessments, get you all caught up on the brackets and everything at your halftime show, and we will be right back after this. For the first time ever, the Legends Trophy is on the line twice in one season between Stanford and Notre Dame here in the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. The 4th-ranked Cardinals lead the Fighting Irish by 6, and here's your game tracks. Notre Dame got off to a fast and furious start, 10 points, but then here came Andrew Luck and Stanford firing right back. They've had some blunders, but they've been able to make up for them. They've given up 7 points off of a fumble. They've actually they've given up 7 points from a fumble, and then they've missed getting 7 points because of a fumble. So that's almost a 14-point swing if you take away the safety that this team has given up. And Taylor right now trying to make up for that fumble he had earlier at the goal line. They'll give it to Taylor again, and Taylor's going to be tackling in the backfield. It doesn't seem like that play wants to work here in the BCS playoffs. The whole take the snap and give it to your guy on the round, run around the pile. And Taylor will take it on the draw play. There goes Taylor, leaving smoke, dust, and Irishmen behind them as he races into Notre Dame territory. They'll get 1st and 10 at the 35. Taylor again. Taylor just runs over the Notre Dame defense. What a hard-nosed, tough running back. No, that was Wilkerson. That wasn't Taylor. They had Anthony Wilkerson in there. So Taylor must be rusting after the big long run. Wilkerson will take it again, and Wilkerson will get 1 on the carry. Or 2, rather. 3rd and 11. Maybe give it to Wilkerson again. It sure looks like it. They got the I formation. There's the handoff. Wilkerson will get it. Yes, he will. First down, Stanford. Not only keep the clock a-rolling, but this drive also control the time of possession and wear down that Notre Dame defense. Oh, I think we're going to get a false start. Yes, we will. Edward Hockley Jr., son of Ed Hockley, making the call. 3 wide receivers on the far side. Keep your eye on the far side. That's exactly where Luck is going. And not only were we keeping our eyes on the far side, but so were the Irish. They knew it was going that way. Quickly batted down. 2nd and 15 at the 30. Luck will take this one out of the gun. 2 backs. Puts his tight end in motion. Now the tight end will drop back. All this blocking. I like that. And he finds the running back, Wilkerson, for the completed pass. I like that formation. Bring everybody back and throw some blocks and then kind of leave your guys open. 3rd and 8. This is clutch down. Luck will just float it out there, and that's going to be a first down. Andrew Luck, look at his numbers. Nearly 300 yards passing for the Heisman runner-up. This is why he came back to Stanford. He said he wanted to make it right after they lost to the Red Hawks last season in the 1st round. Luck, back of the end zone, incomplete. Really nice defense from Notre Dame on that pass play. 2nd and goal from the 6. Luck. End zone, overthrows his man, incomplete. He's looking for Whaley. Or Whalen, Griff Whalen. Third and goal. They give it to Taylor instead, and it doesn't work. Trying to fool the Irish. They were all over it, so now Stanford will be held to a field goal. Should be a chip shot. Easy field goal. Indeed it is. That will increase the lead to 2 scores. Knocked right through the uprights by Jordan Williamson. The tree's going crazy. They hold the lead now. Let's see if they can capitalize and keep it rolling. For Notre Dame, though, 10 points, but 7 of those came on defense, so technically 3 offensive points. And the offense has done good moving down the field swiftly, but they get to about the 30-yard line, and they go into their shells. They kind of get alligator arms. They can't catch, and they can't run, and they just fall apart. Probably going to be a holding call. I saw that one a mile away. Robinson found guilty of the hold, and hey, you guys don't like it, but it was seen a mile away. So that'll push him back to a 1st and 18. Oddly enough, down at the 18-yard line. And they'll make up the holding yards on that throw, so technically it's just a loss of a down as they find themselves right back to a 2nd and 10. 5 wide for Reese. Screen play doesn't work. They get 1 yard and nothing more. 3rd and 9. And when I said they stall out at the 30, I meant the other 30 Notre Dame, not this 30 that you would stall out at. Reese. Not going to happen. No first down for them. They're going to punt. And this really opens things up for a red-hot Stanford Cardinal team to potentially drive, put more points on the board. And I would have to venture a guess that if Stanford could score here, that would put this ball game right out of reach. Let's see. This is all up to Andrew Luck and Stanford at this point. The ball game, I feel, is theirs to lose here at the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. Luck will have all day. Incomplete. Another great play by the Notre Dame defense. Cornerback Robert Blanton with the pass deflection. He's a senior. 2nd and 10. Luck will be in the gun. He'll take it. Has his man, 1st down, Stanford. There's Terrell, who stepped up in a big way for this team. Again, they use him for about a couple of catches a game. About the 4th or 5th receiver down on the depth chart. Stephon Taylor with the run, and with those 3s on his back, he'll hand one over and get 3 on the ground. 3 3s. I think that happened in the Alabama game. We had just 3s flying around. It's going to creep me out. Give it to... No, they won't. Andrew Luck will take it this time, and he gets hit. And you don't want your franchise player taking too many shots like that. So I'm not sure if that play will be used again here today. And that was Prince Shimbo, a linebacker that came in with the tackle. 3rd and 11. And now Stanford will go with the 5 wide. Incomplete. So Notre Dame can't convert on which was a very important drive, and now it gives opportunity back to the Fighting Irish to close the 9-point gap. Winner of this game to meet Michigan, who absolutely dominated Nebraska in the Pinstripe Bowl on Friday. Is that game on Friday, or is that a Thursday game? I think it was a Thursday game. I believe it was on Thursday. I don't know. Double check my records. Get back to me. Halfback slip screen does not work at all. And after this replay, we will be heading to quarter number 4. Notre Dame has just 1 or 2 more opportunities to get points on the board. They trail by 9 after leading by 10. Can the Irish come back? Their first ever trip to the Bowl Championship Series playoffs. Going up against Stanford, who was eliminated and upset last season in their first trip. Who wants it more? The Cardinal or the Fighting Irish? The Legends Trophy is also on the line, as well as the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl trophy. Let's see what happens. We got 1 quarter to go, and it is anybody's football game. Do not go away. And of course, after the post-game stats, incomplete. After the post-game stats, after our post-game show with Stanford winning, we'll be able to talk with the head coach David Shaw and figure out where Stanford, or if Stanford doesn't win, you know, where the other teams are going in the bowl games. But Stanford was the last highest seeded, and that one's going to float incomplete, that needed to pick a bowl game. So after this, we'll be able to pretty much complete, I think, all but a couple of bowl games as we wait for Baylor and Southern Miss to wrap up over on ESPN2. Stanford given 1 more opportunity to attempt at driving and adding to the score. They failed at it last time. They got another shot here. Taylor's going to help the cause with a 1st down run. And after starting off slow, he's really come through here, not only in the 2nd quarter, but in the 2nd half with some monster runs for his team. Taylor will take it again, and Taylor will get 6-yard carry. All those runs, not only slowly moving the chains, not only slowly wearing out this Notre Dame defense, but it keeps the clock rolling for Stanford. Taylor will take it again. Why not? 1st down. This is a simple... I've been really enjoying the play calling for Stanford, not only from David Shaw, but of course offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton. They've come together with some really nice play calling here. Now they're going to open it up on 1st down, and look at this play calling. How brilliant. Completed to Montgomery. That is Montgomery's 2nd touchdown of the year. You run, 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 and then on first down, let's drop back and throw a pass. Burned them, and the freshman will score. I mean, it's just been brilliant. I mean, brilliant play call. You can't say anything else but that. Run, 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 and then drop back and heave it. Touchdown. They're going to go for the 2 to make up. Or not really make up, but with the safety earlier, threw everything out of whack. The 2-point conversion will be good. 27-10, and now that makes it a 17-point game. It's a 3-score battle, a 3-score uphill climb for the Fighting Irish. And unless the Irish can do something on this drive, we won't see Notre Dame Michigan Part 2, which was an amazing game earlier on in the season. But we will be well on our way to Stanford and Michigan. I mean, Denard Robinson versus Andrew Luck. What a game that should be. But we won't get ahead of ourselves. Reese has plenty of time to throw. That's going to go incomplete. We won't start speculating on round 2 games until this drive is over. I feel if the Irish can't do anything on this drive, this will pretty much end their season. Reese, screenplay, no one there, incomplete. Tommy Reese, you see the frustration building on his face. 3rd down and 10. Over the middle, 1st down. Notre Dame keeps their season alive. That one was nabbed by T.J. Jones. And another completion. So 7-yard gain, and now here come the Irish. Refusing to let the season die. They still have a chance. That win percentage is small, but they do have the chance. Another pass is brought in. That's going to be into Stanford territory. And that was brought in by Michael Floyd. Now we're moving here. This is kind of what we've seen from the Irish all day. That one will get knocked away incomplete. Looking for their first score offensively by way of a touchdown. And he's looking for it all. And incomplete. He had it in his hands. Did Floyd, and he dropped it. Could not hang on to the throw, and you see how much Notre Dame has struggled on their 3rd downs. Pick that one up off the turf here. Oh, that's a 1st down, and that's going to go for a touchdown. Notre Dame keeps the season alive. Picked it up off the ground and was able to get it into the tight end's hands. Ben Koyek for the score. And maybe with the ball rolling onto the ground, that allowed everyone to run up, thinking it was a fumble, left Koyek wide open. Koyek's only caught 1 pass all year. So maybe Kelly's getting to the point where he's like, we need to do something else, because they put him in. We haven't seen all day, we haven't even seen all year, but shoot, 2nd catch of the year goes for a touchdown. I'll keep him in. Here we go, onside kick now, trailing by just 10. Bounces around, it's on the turf. Who's got it? Stanford is able to get it. Whew, that was a live football. And the Cardinal just barely able to get the ball. Jamal Rashad Patterson with the recovery. Always got to put those receivers on the hands team. And now we'll see if the Cardinal can close it out. Taylor's going to try to. That was an amazing run by Stephon Taylor to get the 1st down. Found the opening. He took a big, massive shot. Easy on that low camera angle. Easy on that low camera angle. And Stephon Taylor, if he can keep running like that, Stanford might be able to close this one out. He can't fumble, though. If he fumbles, that would be devastating for his team. They lead by 10. Andrew Luck is going to try to drive, though, and maybe increase the lead some more. They got just take the snap, and that's going to be delay a game. Yes, indeed. Andrew Luck did not see the clock winding down. So that makes the calls a little harder here, and that will stop the clock temporarily at 2:14. Time is of the essence right now for the Irish, trying to make a comeback. Taylor tries to stiff arm his man, finally brought down. And if you're the Irish, you can't allow Taylor to keep, reeling off huge runs like this. You got to clamp down and get some stops. Big opening, and they won't let Taylor get the first. So it's 3rd and inches, and if they can hold, they can keep it a 2-score game by forcing Stanford to go with a field goal. Taylor runs it. Oh, they stopped him. I didn't know. They gave him the first down. That's unbelievable. That's got to be one of the worst calls I've ever seen. There was no way that was a first down, and we're not even going to get a review. Brian Kelly's going crazy on the sidelines, and I would be too. There was no way. No way that was a first down. He did not even come close to the yellow line. No review. Kelly probably should have challenged, but he didn't. And that's got to do it here for Stanford to run out the clock. Taylor runs it again. They give him another first down. I think he crossed the line on that one either. This is... Wow. I'm disappointed. Ed Hockley must be wanting to get out of this one. Ready to go home or something. There's no excuse for why that run was called a first down. This is going to do it as we take the knee. I hate to be the pity party at the end of a good game or a good win for Stanford for Andrew Luck, who's going to win his first ever BCS playoff game. Bad call or not, they're your 2011 Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl champions. Last year, the Kraft champions were Oregon. They got eliminated in the second round. You see the dirt starting to pile up here on the baseball field? Well, Stanford, they're attempting to not go the way of the Oregon Ducks. They've already avenged last season's first round defeat, and they want to keep moving on. They'll have that opportunity against Michigan. Andrew Luck versus Denard Robinson. What a game that should be. We can start to fill in the brackets now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do that after the post game. We'll show you some more where everyone is heading to. Tough luck for the Irish. They fought their hearts out. There's no denying that. They didn't give up till the very end, but 280 yards, 3 touchdowns of Andrew Luck is just way too much to overcome. And for Andrew Luck, with either the Holiday Bowl and successful defense of the Legends Trophy once again, with either the Holiday Bowl, which is right there in California, or is there another California bowl game? I have to believe that the Stanford Cardinal, they're not going to be leaving the state anytime soon for a bowl game. If they could pick up the win next week, we might be seeing Stanford heading to the Rose Bowl, without a doubt. They might be able to just roll through the first 3 rounds here in the state of California, and that's the advantage you get here in the Bowl Championship Series. By finishing with a good record and being high-seeded, you get that advantage of picking those bowl games where you want, close to home. Maybe the travel got to Notre Dame, long travel here to California. Taking a look at the highlights, and that was great. Feel good for that tight end who hasn't played much all year, but he came through at the end and got some points for his team. There you see the fumble, the touchdown by Whaley, who had a great game, and then the Stanford touchdown started to close the gap, and that's going to do it here. Let's get some post-game in you, then we'll update you with the brackets and fill out just about all of our second-round games. I know that Baylor and Southern Miss are still going on, so once that one hits final, we'll really be able to close it out for you guys. Andrew Luck, you already know his numbers. Absolutely phenomenal. Taking a look at Tommy Reese, 15 for 33, 207, 1 touchdown. Didn't have any interceptions. I mean, not the best day ever throwing 15-plus incompletions, but give him credit. He kept his team in the game. Kerry Wood, not much to say there. On the other side, though, Stephon Taylor, 22 rushes, 143 yards. Excellent. And then Griff Whalen, 6 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. On the Notre Dame side, not much to say down the line. Couple of grabs, couple of yards is about it. And then your numbers for defense. There you see on the Irish side, and over on the Notre Dame, Notre Dame is over on the Cardinals side. There you see, and finally we'll look at our team stats on both sides of the ball. 20 first downs compared to 8. That's just nuts. 200 more yards passing, or total offense. The Cardinal had 407 to 208. I mean, Stanford outclassed Notre Dame all the way on this one. Passing yards, they got them by about 80. Third down conversions, that's another win for the Cardinal. 2-point conversion, that's another win. Red zone efficiency, they definitely hope to be a little better on that stat, especially fumbling at the goal line. If they want to move on, especially going up against Michigan, you can't have those mistakes against Michigan. This is the only department where the Cardinal really lost, and if you're an Irish fan, you're thinking that's a shame. You know, we won the turnover battle, but we couldn't win the game. We even got 7 points off of a turnover. But Andrew Luck, he's just that good. Total yards, time of possession, and Stanford, they won most of these battles. All right, let's begin to wrap this one up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show you some brackets, some charts. It's hard to believe we're already on to round number 2. Alrighty, so here we are, Stanford bracket. They get the first pick, and actually we're about to run through all these choices that are coming up in just a few minutes. So there you're seeing Stanford advances. We're still waiting on Baylor and Southern Miss to finish up, but let's run through the round number 2. LSU, number 1 seed, they get the first pick of all remaining bowl games. They take the Liberty Bowl. It's Memphis, short 3-hour drive from them. LSU versus Georgia, the SEC rematch. Pick number 2, Alabama will head the short trip over to Atlanta. Short trip, though, for the folks from Clemson, North Carolina. It's an ACC versus SEC showdown. Should be exciting. There in the Dome in Atlanta, should be sold out, and it should be rocking. How about the Bedlam rematch in San Antonio? Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, number 3 versus number 14, as the top-seeded Cowboys move on to do battle with the Sooners in the rematch. Absolutely unprecedented. For the first time ever, all 4 top seeds move on to the second round. Stanford at pick number 4. They'll take the Holiday Bowl. They will remain in California for the second straight bowl game, which means Michigan will have to travel all the way from New York to California. Some road-weary team right there. Oregon, they're going to take the Sun Bowl in their next choice. They're waiting for Baylor and Southern Miss to wrap up. Winner of that game will take on Oregon down in Texas. Who will it be? That one, as you see, will be Friday. Kansas State at pick number 8. They got to go all the way to Florida. Texas will be there. Short trip from them because they're already in Louisiana, so they can leave right from Louisiana, head over to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl. At number 11, pick number 11, it's Virginia Tech. They will take the Capital One Bowl down in Orlando. So both Cincinnati, who is waiting in Nashville, and Virginia Tech, who is up there playing in the Military Bowl, they will head down south for some some warmer weather. And finally, number 23 versus number 26, upset Central. They get the last remaining bowl game of the 8 second-round games. That's the Outback Bowl. Little bit of a home field advantage for Florida State, but for West Virginia, that's what happens when you're the low seed. You got to take them bowls that are remaining. Here you are looking at the brackets. LSU, Georgia in the Liberty Bowl, K-State and Texas in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. So a couple of exciting second-round matchups. Looking at the Alabama bracket, Chick-fil-A Bowl for Alabama, Clemson, and then you got Florida State, West Virginia, and the Outback Bowl. So ACC, Big East, SEC, ACC there in the Alabama bracket remaining. And then we have Big 12, ACC, and Big East. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Cincinnati, Virginia Tech. Who's going to the Elite 8? Well, we will find out in just 1 week.